Hi, this is Amy with Leap of Faith Crafting, and today we are talking about everything fonts. So we are continuing on with the Cricut Design Space tutorials, and a little bit in the last tutorial I did talk a little bit about the text. So when you add text, you're going to go over on the left side, hit the text button, and a little box will pop up. So I'm just going to type hello in here. And you will, I'm just going to grab it and move it up so you can see it a little bit better. We'll move it up here. So up here is where your fonts are. So if we click on this, you will see they all come up. So this is all. So this includes everything on my system, everything in my computer that I have, and also everything that Cricut has. So you can see if you just hit on Cricut, these are all the ones they have, and you'll have to pay for these ones. So there are a few that I have because I had some cartridges from before, but I don't use a lot of the Cricut fonts. I tend to upload almost all of mine. The one nice thing about these ones is a lot of them do have shadow layers to them. So especially for if you're working with cards and paper, a shadow layer a lot of times is nice, but I can show you how to make a shadow layer without that in another tutorial. But when I go into system, it comes up with all of my fonts, and I have a whole lot of fonts. So I was just going to show you where I get my fonts from. And one of the places I go to which has free fonts, but these are free for personal use only. So is called dafont.com, DAFONT.com. There's a couple different sites. You can just Google ones and you'll see them come up. And you can see you just come down and they have a whole bunch of fonts. And then they have all the different themes up here. So if you're looking for a comic, a groovy, an old school, Western, eroded, or you can search for a specific font up here. So they also has this preview text, so you can always type in up here and see exactly what it will look like. So say you find a font that you want. Let's go back up to Curly Font and see what they have. So, okay, so like Curly Shirley here, say I want that one. I am just going to click download, and I'm on a PC, so I don't know if this is different if you're on a Mac. All you do is where you see, it will either say true type font file or open type. I usually actually do open type if they have the choice, but if you click on this, all of this comes up, and all you need to do is click the install button. And now it is in your computer. So that's all there is to it. The only thing now that when we go back to Cricut Design Space, it won't show up right now. You would have to click the reload button and it will reload everything. And then once you do that, it will be in your computer. If you are wanting to start making like SVG files or selling products that you make with your Cricut, you'll need ones that have commercial use licenses. So these are, this is a great site, creativefabrica.com, and they have a freebie section. And they have all these, they have more than just fonts, but say like this with love one. This is super cute. So you click on it. So you'll see it says for any commercial project. And you can also preview text by typing in something there. So again, click download. And it will pop up. And I always do the open type fonts. So if you click on this, again, it opens. You just hit install. And then if you want the special ones, again, click on this one. And this has the special characters. It has the swishes and stuff. So if you want that part, install that one too. So now you have that one. So a couple other ones. The Hungry JPEG is another one that has, they do freebies. They also do like their dollar days where they have a bunch of cool fonts for $1. This is like a font duo. So you get 2 fonts. So this is another place I check out, and I'm in sign up for their stuff. So I always get emails about when they have free stuff. And Design Bundles is another great one that they do a lot of craft bundles, or quote bundles, sometimes just files, but they also do fonts, and they'll have specials and things like that. So these are all great things you can buy, and you can use them for commercial use. So those are where I usually get my fonts. So now I have to refresh this to see it come up. Okay, one more thing. Say if you want, you are looking for a specific font. You can always just Google, say you want a Disney font. So just type in Disney font. And these ones will always be for personal use. So you see these come up. 1001 Fonts is another good one. So if you click on Waltograph, I already have this font, but it's a great font. So this comes up. And again, you just click the download button. And click the open type. And again, hit the install button. And so mine probably will tell me I already have it. So I already have that one. And then the license is here, so you can read about it. So that's just an easy way to Google if there's specific ones. Sometimes if there's something like from a movie that I like, I'll, try to find it. You won't always find it, but you can find stuff that's really close to it. So now, when you're back in here, and again, we'll do like hello. So the one hard part about this, so I'm going to go to my system so I see all my fonts. So since I have so many, I have hundreds of fonts, picking the font is probably the hardest part of most projects. It takes the longest time. So what I like to do is I use a website called wordmark.it. So you have to have Adobe Flash going, but this shows you all your fonts on your computer. So I will come in and type hello and hit enter. And then you will see this brings up all the fonts and how it would look with hello. These aren't including, there's some fonts that you buy, especially the ones you purchase that have like the special characters. This one won't show you those, but this is just the basic of what they would look like if you went in to use them. So I go through depending on what I was doing. Say if I wanted to find some cute script fonts, you can find some that you like. Say like this one. Depending on what you're doing, a lot of times, especially cutting, if you're doing something small, you want thicker fonts. They're easier to cut. The really thin fonts are a little bit trickier, especially on paper. They cut pretty well on vinyl. Honeyed, that's one of my favorites that I use a lot. Magnolia is another one that I really like, but that one I actually was the one splurge on my fonts that I paid for. And some of the fonts also have like just the extras of like little doodles and stuff, which I use a lot too. This one was a cute one that I used that had the little hearts on it, Limbo. So that's kind of a fun one. Here's Magnolia that I like. So as you're going down, it's hard to remember which ones you like. So I always go and click on the few that I like. And then see if there's any other ones. You see there's tons. You can go up to this filter selected up here. So if you click on this, this will now just give you the ones that are selected. So it makes it much easier to kind of narrow it down. So say I want to go back in and do Magnolia Sky. So now I go in here and in the search, I will just start typing in Magnolia Sky. So now that pulls it up. So you'll notice in Cricut Design Space on the script, they do not attach them together. So that is something you have to do in Design Space. If you're designing in, say, Illustrator or in Inkscape, they automatically put them together. So that's one benefit of designing there, but it's not hard to hook them together. A lot of times, I will just go up here to letter space, and that is the distance between the letters. So I just start clicking down and get it to where they're attached. And you can always come down here and zoom. So if we make it bigger and we make sure that those are attached, because sometimes you can go too far. Oops, or not far enough. So say if I click there, and when it's little, it's a little bit harder to see that. But as you get bigger, you'll see there's this little notch, so it's not quite enough. So I need to go a little bit farther in. And once it's in there to what I like, I will come down here and hit attach. So now these are attached together. So then so they won't move. The other thing you want to do with the script font is once it's exactly how you want it, because you can't change it once you do this, you'll want to go down here to the weld and click the weld button. What that does is it welds all of these together. If you just cut it and attach, you'll still see the little tails, and they'll cut out separately. So make sure you weld it together once you have it exactly how you wanted it. Okay, so another way I like to do it, if you want to weld these or actually attach these together and have it do it by yourself, is I use another app on my computer called Font Lab. So this is one you should just be able to download. It's called Font Lab Pad. And what you do is when you go in, say if I want to open, these are my recent fonts I've used. So if I click on this one, you'll see that that already comes up. So you'll see that this actually puts them together. So I can change it to anything, go to any of my recent fonts, and you'll see they're already put together how they should be, or how, without changing any of the letters by itself. So what you can do with this is I go in and I save this. So you can save it as to wherever you want, to the desktop, and it saves as a PNG, which is great. And then I will come up and upload it. So here's your upload button down on your left side. Go ahead and click that. And then you're going to upload an image and browse. And then I'm just going to type it in. Okay, so you see when I pull it up, it doesn't have a background on it. So that's when it's a PNG, it has a transparent background. So I can click any of these and hit continue. And hit continue again, because you don't need to do anything with it. And then I'm going to save it as a cut image and click save. And then you're going to click this one and insert the image. So now this comes in, it's already attached, already welded together, so I don't have to do anything with it. So that's just another way to do it if you're having a problem moving them around and things like that. Okay, so now let's talk about block fonts. So the ones we've been working with are script and how to attach them, but let's see what we can do with other types of fonts. So again, if we type hello, and let's see, I'm going to hit system, so we go into my fonts, and let's just pick a font here. So I'm just going to move it up so you can see it. So again, I'm going to grab on these arrows just to make it bigger. So if you don't like the spacing in it, again, you can come up to these letter space up here and decrease the space. Another way you can change the size is by this font size right here. So if you want it only 50, you can drop it back down to 50. I'm going to put it back up at 200 so you can see it. So another thing you can do is curve text. So you can click this button, and then a diameter shows up, and you can just move it this way, or if you want to curve it up, move it that way. So then again, once you get it like you want it, say let's bring them a little closer with the letter space button. Make sure you click attach down here on the bottom side so that they stay how they are. So let's undo that. Go back to 0. So let's also play with moving the letters up and down. So again, you can go up here and ungroup them. So if I ungroup them, like I said, you can click on one, make it bigger. If you just want to rotate one of them, you can. Say you want the H bigger. And again, you want to rotate it, so I'm going to click the rotate button and move it over. So now that you did that, say you want to align them again. So to select all of these, I'm going to use my cursor and make a square around them. And then up here, there's an align tab. So if you click on this, there's all different aligns. So if you wanted to align them vertically, you can click that button, and now they're all vertically aligned. Say we want to put them all on the top. They're all on the top there. And align any of them on the right. If you do this one to the right, they're all going to move on each other. Okay, so say this is what we want to do. If you just want to move them around, like I said, attach them, or you can even just group them, and that will put them all back together. So say if you just group them and you go to make it, you will see that they move them all around. So Cricut tries to save space. So on the paper and on the mats, they will move all the letters around. So if you were cutting this out, say on paper, and making a card or like a poster, it really wouldn't matter if they were in order. It'd actually be better to save the space on them. So this would be fine. You could cut it like that. But say if you're going to use vinyl and you're going to need to transfer it, with that, you usually want them all together or on an iron-on transfer, things like that. So for that, you're going to have to click it, and you have to make sure you click attach down here on the right side. So now that will do, it will keep them exactly how they are. So when you go to make it now, you will notice that it is exactly how we left it. So now when you go to cut it, it will cut exactly like that. Okay, so hopefully that helped a little bit with some of the fonts. We will get into more in depth with some of the other functions in the next couple videos. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of the videos. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks for watching the video and have a creative day.